What's going on, guys? So we just got here to the Orange County Convention Center. It's Sunday, May 25th, and today is Collecticon. It's been going on all weekend. We weren't able to make it yesterday, but our guys in Lobster are going to be here, so I'm really excited to see them and see what they got going on. Like I said, it's a massive convention. It's actually bigger than it's ever been this year. It's kind of crazy. Parking was just absolutely insane to get in. About a 15-minute walk from one of the other concourses just to get in the building. But that's really healthy. That's really good. Even though it was a little bit of a pain to get in, it's really good to see that happening and see everybody coming in. So I'm excited to get in. We're going to look at all kinds of things. We're going to see what kind of cards they have. We're going to check out all the collectibles that they have. Like I said, it's just a massive convention of all types of collectibles, pops, toys, cards, you name it, they have it. So we're going to head in there. We're going to check it out. And I'm really excited to bring you guys with me. Like I said, I've been waiting all year to do this. It seems like it's the biggest that it's been probably ever. So look at this huge Pikachu. They have all types of stuff, man. We got some Yu-Gi-Oh cards over here. That's really, really cool. Some blown up sports cards. The man himself, again, Pikachu. This is again at the Orange County Convention Center, formerly the Orlando Convention Center. They do this show every year, and it's just gotten bigger and bigger every single year. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, let's get inside, man. Lots of stuff. Rated Pokemon. Dream Mew up there. It's going to be a lot of cards, which I know you guys like, but we'll check out some other collectibles as well. Like I said, there are things that I'm into that aren't just cards, so I'm hoping that we could find some of that stuff. It'll be really, really cool for us. We got the little one with us today. He's just chilling in there, so we're gonna see if we can find anything really cool for him. Let's go this way. All right. Check it out, Haven. We got some of the swords here. Oh man, little guy loves swords, man. This is super, super, super awesome, man. I love it. We got just a page up there. Sorry, brother. Oh yeah, those are nice, right? Got some stuff in the case. Law manga. Nice ones. Some more Pokemon. Found some Rogue One Piece over here at Kingsway Collectibles. Yeah, so we got some really good stuff, man.
If you want to see anything in the case, let me know.
Sounds good, buddy. Got the manga right there. Manga Blackbeard, man. We got to get our hands on that one. That's one that I think we're going to have to trade up some stuff and try to get. But looking for this Nico Robin, man. It's going to be a pretty crazy card going forward, I think, for the Koala deck. It's going to be really nice. All right, buddy, show me the cards that you got. We got a free pack of some Chinese Pokemon cards, Japanese Pokemon. Here. And what other cards you got? Got a Wolverine, Pikachu. That's crazy. That's awesome. All right, let's rip your cards open.
Look behind you.
Let me see. Oh, big Charizard. Let's open up your cards. Let me see. All right. Gotta open it up. All right, let's see who you got. All right, yeah. Rip them open. Show us which cards you got.
No.
Check it out.
Daddy,
Who'd you get?
you did Spanish language.
Those are in Japanese, buddy.
Japanese. I can't spell Chinese.
That's okay. We'll just show the pictures. Show the pictures you got. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look at those. You got some. Oh, you got a Gimme Ghoul. Very nice. That's a cool one. We found some more One Piece singles, guys. Manga Namis. Really nice SP Namis. They got the good stuff, and they also got the new Manga Luffy. And they got some nice, beautiful old school Yu-Gi-Oh cards, Altis, things like that. Oh man, they're gorgeous. Very nice. Found the homie. Super cool, man. So guys, we're gonna step aside for a minute, take a second. Just been walking around, just saying hi to everybody, seeing a ton of cards. We picked up some stuff. A lot of people have been giving my little guy a bunch of cards, which has been super nice to everybody. Just all around having a really good time, man. I'm having so much fun. Hoping that we can find some of the alts that we need. I might put the Trafalgar Law deck together. Trying to also get some stuff for Koala and for Kobe. I'm not seeing too many playable singles. I'm seeing a lot of just like alt arts, high rarity mangas, things like that. Same thing for Pokemon. A lot of sealed and a lot of graded cards, which you know is no good for us. So we're seeing if we can find anything. If there's anything we need right now, we do have pretty much everything we need to play this upcoming format, but we'll just see if we can find maybe some of those full art Dragon Balls would be really nice. So I'm not sure. We'll keep at it, man. All right, little guy found some Legos here, man. He's crazy over the Legos. They got so much stuff, it's insane. We did grab a couple of things. I'll show you guys a little later. And I'll check in with you, let you know what's been going on. We made some wheeling and dealing, some trades. Lots of really cool stuff. Awesome, awesome. So yeah, see you guys in a few. Check it out, guys. We got, oh man, Championship Nami. Those look familiar, don't they? Chopper. That's the real nice one, dude. There we go. Oh man. Look at the craziness they got here, guys.
This is probably about
Gold Dawn.
almost certainly, but almost certainly, but I'll double
Get
check.
our hands on some of that.
Absolutely not.
Got some nice Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh symbols back there. Legendary collection. We got some good Yu-Gi-Oh symbols as well. We'll check them out in a second. I've been finding some really nice stuff. Lots of cards. The little guy found a bunch of things that he liked. Just so much happening. Tons of people here. So yeah. Bunch of full arts. Check it out, guys. They got the good stuff. Finally, we found all the really good stuff. Have to spend some money. Check out this binder of all news, guys. You guys know this old school Mew was my biggest chase when I was a kid, man. So many. None of the hollow though. We got that one. We got the hollow one. Guys, we got the guys with versus. Okay, we got some really good stuff, man. Always bring the best One Piece. So much prettiness in the case. Pokemon. Still can't find those luminous energies, man. Hoping that we can get our hands on some. We can get a couple of luminous energies, I'll be super happy. Nobody has really any of the play stamp cards, which is unfortunate. Maybe in the binders, but unfortunately I don't have the time to sift through everybody's binders. Everybody brings like dozens of binders with them, so we're just looking through the stuff that they have in the case. Not seeing the cards unfortunately we need. We did pick up the Dragon Pulse, so I'm really happy about that. We got a couple of them, so we're gonna bring out the deck a little bit. Looks like they're looking to get a panel going, so
Here's your fan of One Piece, Winx
it'll
Club.
be really awesome.
Mew Mew Power, she was in that.
All right, guys, you got to make sure you come over to booth 18. My guys at Gorilla Lobster, they're here all day. They were here yesterday. They got all the good stuff, tons of singles. You guys already know. You know I put on for Lobster. They're some of my favorite people in the world. And really excited to see them here. Really have had a chance the last few years to be here, so really excited to have them participating in this absolutely insane collectibles convention. So come check them out if you guys get a chance. Today is the last day, but you know, come check them out at the store. Shout out to the guy, Mr. Pal TCG. Super nice guy. We just chatted for a little bit. I didn't put it on camera because, you know, we were just chatting it up, talking about cards. It's really nice to meet people in the community that love just playing this game and getting to know the people that are also playing the game. Unfortunately, the hunt for the luminous energies continues. What's going on, guys? So as you can see, we're back in the office. We had an absolutely awesome time at Collecticon in Orlando. Shout out to everybody that puts on the show. You guys did a really good job. The show was bigger than it was the last few years, and I was really excited to be able to take part in that, to bring my little guy. He had a great time as well. So yeah, just shout out to you guys. I wanted to just sit down and have a conversation with you guys. Like I said, we had a great time. There were some things that unfortunately weren't so great, and we had a few negative interactions that I would say with some of the vendors, which were a little bit unfortunate, and I kind of just wanted to get into that with you guys and just kind of talk about it and share my opinion about it. Don't want to discredit Collecticon. I know it's not their fault for what happened, but just a couple of things that I wanted to talk with you guys about. But first, I did want to show you guys what we picked up. We didn't pick up too much. I know that people have reached out to me and said, hey, Ticker, man, I mean, you do Yu-Gi-Oh! Why don't you ever show picking up Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards and things like that? And the reason for that is because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a game that I play very competitively, so I get a lot of my cards very early on for the format, and very seldom do I pick up cards that are just collectibles for that. I don't really collect anything for just Yu-Gi-Oh! Everything that I have that's extra outside of playable cards are usually just trade bait and maybe some nostalgic cards, but typically I don't go out of my way to pick up the high rarity, just old school Edison format or Go format cards. I didn't play during Edison format, so I don't really have that nostalgia connection with the high rarity cards from back then. Some of them are just way too pricey for Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards in my personal opinion. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is an incredibly expensive game just in general, but I'll spend the money on a card that is playable for me, but really for collecting purposes is not something that typically I'll pick up. So One Piece and Pokemon, though, those are a little bit different. Again, both games that I play competitively, but One Piece has a little bit more of a collectible aspect for me, especially with the art. Pokemon as well. I'm really into a lot of the modern cards, and you'll see me kind of show those off a little more. Also, a lot of that has to do with the vendors. Don't bring too much. you'll see mostly just Pokemon, which is the most popular game in the world, One Piece, Magic, things like that. But you're not going to see too much Yu-Gi-Oh at these shows unless we go to something like a regional or nationals or a convention that's just vending strictly Yu-Gi-Oh kind of stuff. So yeah, that's the reason why you won't see me really picking up too many Yu-Gi-Oh cards unless it's high rarity or something that we're playing currently. So give me a second and I'll show you what we did pick up. So yeah, again, like I said, we really only picked up about a handful of cards. A lot of the cards were priced a little bit above market or at the very top of market. So anything that we needed, I chose to pass on because I knew I could get it a little bit cheaper elsewhere. That's one of the things that I had that was kind of a gripe. We'll get more into it after I show the cards off. But for now, man, I'll just show you guys. We got the Alt Marco. I'm really excited about this one. We were playing Marco before in Shanks when it was more of a control build. It seems to be moving back toward that control build, so I'm trying to pick up some of the Marcos, but this time I want to get some of the alts. Hopefully we can get our hands on that Japanese art one for the 2nd anniversary, I believe it was. That was gorgeous, so hopefully we can find that one. Didn't see anybody at the con with it, otherwise we would have grabbed it. But yeah, this one's really nice. We also picked up this gold foil version of the starter deck 01 Rush Luffy. I really like this one. It's a beautiful card. Nothing too playable, but like I said, when it comes to One Piece cards, I like to pick them up and just kind of look at them because they're beautiful. But this one was kind of a throw-in from the seller that we picked up the Marco and a couple of other cards from. Really nice guy, and really excited to have this one in the collection. And then we also picked up the Peronodon that I'm really excited to have for our PRB 01 collection. I think now we're just missing the Reiju and maybe one other one. I'm not sure, I have to double check, but we were able to find the Perona for a great price, mint condition, so that one went right into the Don deck as soon as we were able to pick it up. Really excited. And everything else that we got was just pretty much Pokemon cards. We got a couple of the alt Dragapults. I know they're not called alts in Pokemon, they're ultra rares or full arts, but picked up a couple of them. I do play 3 Dragapult, but I like to leave one of the regular arts because I think that's still a really beautiful card. So we just picked up 2 of them. The guy did have a full play set, but we just picked up the 2. They were a little bit higher than market, but I didn't mind. It was just a couple bucks, so glad to get our hands on that one. Then we picked up the full art Ursaluna. I do want the IR. It's like a $40 card though, and for something that's really just a Tekken for me, I don't know if I want to spend that money on that, but this one's only a couple bucks. It's beautiful for being beautiful red art. It was very similar to the Pheasantipity that we play, and yeah, for only like $3-4 bucks, it's a no-brainer. And then we picked up the SIR or IR. Please don't kill me in the comments, but the IR Jack. That's going to see a lot of play in some of our Dragapult builds, so I was really excited to get my hands on that one. Another one that's just a couple bucks. I was looking for the Crispin IR. If anybody has one, hit me up in the comments. I really want to get my hands on that one because I'd like to play 2 in Dragapult going forward, and that IR is just absolutely awesome. So that was really our only pickup for cards. And then we picked up, I don't collect them, but we did pick up these little Lego guys. There was a guy there that was selling a lot of, they are knockoffs, they're not like officially licensed Legos or anything, but he had just about every character, every anime, Ninja Turtles, Pokemon, all kinds of stuff. And my little guy was super excited to get his hands on a whole bunch of them. He bought a whole bag. He bought his brother and his sister some as well, and he was really happy. And the seller kind of just threw these in because he could see I was struggling with picking up a couple for myself because, like I said, I don't collect Legos. I've never been super into Legos, but since we were buying a whole bunch for the kids, he just went ahead and threw these guys in. So I was really excited. Shout out to him. I didn't get a picture of his name, but he's at every con. If you guys ever see the old man with the glasses who has all the Lego stuff, tell him Ticker said what's up. But yeah, so that's really all we picked up. I know it's not too much. I do apologize for that. When you go to these cons, I'm really just focusing on making connections and getting content. I'll pick up whatever it is I really need, but we did find some stuff we needed, but it was just priced a little bit higher than I was willing to pay for it. So yeah, but I did want to kind of get into some of the unfortunate interactions that I had at Collecticon. Again, this is not Collecticon's fault. I know that they just take vendor applications from whoever applies, and it's kind of like a raffle system, whoever gets in outside of like some of the bigger vendors that show up to these cons. So unfortunately, I had an interaction where somebody decided a card that they had priced that I was about to purchase, they wanted to change the price on it right as I was about to purchase it. And it was a guy who had It's a really nice one-piece stuff. I think I still put his collection in the video. No hard feelings. I'm not gonna throw anybody under the bus or make any kind of like negative statements about anyone in particular. But like I said, wanted to purchase a card from him. He had it priced at, I believe, like $14, and I didn't look up what market was because I never like to sit there and look up the price of a card so that I can negotiate. I typically take things for face value unless I know that a card is a lot more than it is online or something. So in this case, I wasn't sure what it was. I was just taking an alt leader that they had. I know that it's not a super popular leader, so I thought he had it fairly priced. And right as I went to purchase it, again, the card was priced. Right as I went to purchase it, he decided that he was gonna look it up. He's like, hey, I gotta look this up online. And I was a bit confused, but I'm like, okay, I'm not sure. And he proceeded to tell me after looking it up on TCG Player that it's $10 or $11 more than he had it marked at. So I was, a little bit stunned. He was, he hands it to me. He's like, oh, it's $25 now. And I was like, no, I'm good, So he kind of looked at me confused as to why I didn't want to pay the extra 10 or 11 bucks that he decided to tack on right as I was purchasing the card. So he did make me another offer, which was still about $6 or $7 more than he had it marked at. And I, again, I declined to purchase the card, and I let him know, I'm like, hey man, you had it priced at this. And he's like, yeah, well, it is what it is. Again, there's no obligation to change the price on the card. There's no obligation for me to purchase the card. So you guys don't have to tell me that. However, I do feel like that when you're gonna do something like that, especially when you have it priced, doing things like that and adding on an extra $10 or $11 just because you decided to look at market as the card is being purchased is just not the best business practice. I know what I'm talking about because I've been in the retail industry in all walks of life, from a stock boy all the way up to corporate for about 15 years of my life. And I know that that's not something that you should do, is decide to change the price right as you're selling the card or selling whatever the item is, right as the person's about to pay you, and then get upset because they don't want to pay the extra tax that you decided to throw on. Unfortunately, right after that, we had another similar interaction. This was somebody who did not have his cards priced. And usually when that happens, it means they're going to look up the market. They'll go off of whatever market is. So I made sure to look up the price of the card at market. I had the price in head. He let me know that he was going to look it up on market. So I was like, all right, great, we're on the same page. And then he proceeded to tell me a price higher than the card was at market. And when I was like, well, it's X price on the market, he responded, well, yeah, the price is X on market, but there are comps at a higher price. And that's something that I've never heard of. Just kind of going through and finding the highest price that you possibly can and what the card was sold for in the past, and then wanting to sell that to your customer is just kind of ludicrous to me, because it makes me think if you found a cheaper price, you're not going to give it to me for that price, right? You're going to give it to me for whatever the current market is. So this new thing where it's like, the sellers have the power and they just kind of want to nickel and dime their customer for as much as they possibly can is kind of a negative direction that I feel that the card community is going in. I used to be in sneakers, and I saw sneakers going in a very similar direction where everybody was just pricing everything at market or above market and really doing nothing to compete with the person next to them and give me a reason why I should purchase from you over the next person or purchase online. Again, not going to go into a whole rant about that, but that's not the best business practice, and that kind of left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, and I ended up leaving the convention right after that because there's just not interactions that I wanted to have when purchasing cards. I'm not expecting a discount. I never asked for a discount. I'm not expecting you to give me a break on the price or anything like that because I'm doing content. But however, I'm not expecting you to tell me a higher price than what the card is going for and or adding on extra money to the card as I'm about to purchase it. This seems to be the norm. I've heard this from peers in the community that there are stores that have been doing this. They'll have a card price, and I understand that maybe it's hard to keep up if you have so much inventory. It's hard to keep up with the volatile changing of what the cards go for now in all the games. However, if you're at a show and you have things priced, you had to have literally done the price very, very, very recent. So to be changing the price just because you don't like my face or something kind of leaves a little bit of a sour taste, like I said, in my mouth. But this is something that I think is a very bad business practice from my experience in this industry for a very long time. And I really hope it's not something that continues going forward for a lot of these younger and smaller businesses that want to get into the industry. If you're somebody who's looking to get into selling cards or, sneakers, whatever it is, this is not the best business practice going forward for you. It may help you get some money right at that mint. It may help you get some profit right at that moment, but it's not going to help you in the long run. It's not going to help that customer want to come back to you or spread the word about your business. Again, you don't have to offer a discount to anybody. However, just tacking on extra money and or telling your customer a higher price than market when you claim you go off of market just because you feel like it is not the best business practice that you want to be emulating when you're in this business. So yeah, unfortunately, we had some of those interactions. Like I said, there were a few where things were just priced way above market. When you want to talk to them about it, they really don't have a reason as to why. I understand that people want to recoup the costs that they have for coming out of town, coming out of the country to these shows. So that's to be expected. Things being at the top of market is understandable. However, just changing prices just because you see the person and you want to do it is, again, not something that I think you want to emulate if you're going to get into this industry. But this is by no fault of Collecticon. I know that they just have whoever come to the vendors. Maybe they want to just pay attention to this in the future. It may deter people from wanting to come back to these shows going forward, because if all vendors are doing something very similar, I know for me, I don't know how many more of these conventions that I want to attend, if that's going to be the norm going forward. I really don't want to show my audience price gouging on things like collectibles and cards, because that's what you guys see all day in this industry, just things being sold for triple, quadruple the price of what it goes for in retail. That's a whole different conversation that we're not going to get into. However, I would expect that someone would have the integrity of keeping the price that they price their own product at and not just adding things on. But yeah, that's enough of my rant. Those were some of the things we ran into. I hope some of you guys had better experiences at Collecticon. All in all, I had a really good experience. It was just those select few. There was only about a handful. Those were the two that stuck out to me that, like I said, kind of led to me wanting to leave the convention shortly after. Before that, there were some, nothing typical things like, having higher price and trying to work with you to get closer to market, even still above market, and they still don't want to budge on it. Again, no obligation for you to do that, no obligation for me to purchase the card. It is what it is, but I just wanted to bring to the attention that this is something that seems to be happening in our community, and I don't want to go on a whole rant about how this is about children's game and this is all for a hobby and everything. Everybody can do kind of whatever they want, but just know that it's something that I don't participate in and not something that I subscribe to. And I don't know, again, how many of these shows that I'm going to go to, if this is going to be the norm going forward when it comes to purchasing cards. I'll just stick to purchasing them online from the market or whatever. But yeah, again, shout out to Collecticon. You guys still did a great job. Tons of performances were super awesome. Everybody was super nice that I ran into. All the staff was really nice. Very well run show. Like I said, parking and things was kind of crazy. About a 15-minute walk from the other concourse to get there. Something I've never experienced. And I've been to YCS there. I've been to other conventions there. But it's still a really good thing. It's not a bad thing. It means that the convention is getting bigger and bigger, and people are coming from all walks of life to be there. And I like to see that. I'm not saying I won't go back to Collecticon, but I know that if it'll be the norm going at some of these other card shows, then maybe I'll take a break from doing that kind of content. But you guys let me know in the comments if you guys had any similar kind of interactions with anybody, or just let me know what kind of interactions you had. Let me know what your opinions are, your thoughts are about people selling things above market and just trying to get as much money as they can out of their customers. Let me know how you feel about that. Let me know if I'm just being dramatic. Let's be civil. Let's talk nice to everybody, and everybody has a right to their own opinion, and we can just kind of chop it up in the comments. But first, I want to thank you guys for all the love and support that you guys have been giving me. Everybody that said what's up to me. Everybody was super nice to my son and giving him cards and giving him things throughout the con. He had an absolutely awesome time, and I love being able to experience that kind of stuff with him and experience the positivity that also exists in this community when it's not just about, you know, profit and things like that. But yeah, we got a couple of things coming up. We got our Wednesday One Piece locals. I'm really excited about that. We're gonna try out Red Green Smoker. Like I said, we're gonna give Shanks a little bit of a rest, and we're gonna play Red Green Smoker, our new Don Quixote build that we put together for that. And then we got our Saturday Pokemon locals. We're gonna play our new version of Dragapult. There's some cards. I didn't get my Luminous Energies. The hunt still continues for the Luminous Energies, but if I can get my hands on them before Saturday, we'll be playing them. If not, we'll play it the way it is currently and see how we can do. And the Sunday, we got our Sunday Yu-Gi-Oh! Locals. We got our new build of Malice that we're putting together. We got the Impulses in the deck now, so really excited to play some competitive games with that deck as well. And just have a great time, man. Like I said, I love this community. I love all you guys and everybody that loves this community. So again, thank you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like if you enjoyed this kind of content, and let me know what kind of stuff you want to see. I'm going to do the best I can to bring as much playing content forward as possible. Maybe some hunting content. I know you guys loved my the couple of videos I had done for just going to the stores and seeing what kind of cards. Might get back to some of that, man, and just you know, experiment with where we could go with this channel. But again, thank you guys, and don't forget to stay awesome.